Hi traders and welcome to the PL Capital Commodity Report. Today is Wednesday, November 29th, just after 5 p.m. Central Time. In this video, I'm going to look at natural gas, oil, copper, gold, silver, and uranium. So let's get to the charts. This is natural gas, the futures contract. This is now the January contract. And from the October 31st high, I do see 5 waves. And the only question that I have is if this last, the fifth wave of the fifth wave is in yet. They've been making a bunch of running flats and really pushing the price down, obviously. And this last wave here, it looks to me like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was all the third wave, and then come back here. You go 1, 2, 3. This is running flat 4, and now the fifth wave is either in or there's still just a little bit more down. They're going to push it because when I drill in to this last piece of the wave, it looks like it just came down in 3 waves. So 1, 2, and 3. There's this little baby running flat, but I think that's part of this. I think this might be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3. And this came up. That could be 4, and it's going to be an impulse, but that's a really big 4. So we'll get the answer tomorrow if the fifth wave is in. Actually, I think even like during the London session, they'll tell us what they're doing, because I think if it breaks the low again, I think they're going to make an ending diagonal here. This will be 3 for 1. This to me, it looks like it's 5 waves. So that's why I'm wondering this, if somehow this piece down here is a running flat for the 4 and the fifth wave is done. So, but like I said, we'll know tomorrow, or even in the London hours, because if they break 276 again, then somehow this, I think, was 3 waves instead of 5 like I see, and this was the first wave, and that's 2, and then they'll be coming down for 3, 4, and 5. But either way, I don't see there being a whole lot more downside, because if that's 1 and then that's 2, I mean 3, we'll probably be in the low 2.7s. Then you get a 4 and still one more down for the 5. So maybe into the upper 2.6s. There's not a ton more that they'll drop it. I'd only be looking for a buy setup, and I think if they can go back up and break 287 and really break it, I mean not just do that, and then, because then that could just be an ABC for 2. It's really got to be pushing up here, and actually the invalidation, not until they can break that 2992. Then once they do break that, then we know that the fifth wave is done. So that's a long way away, but we'll get the answer tomorrow. I mean, if they're gonna break it, they might actually be coming overnight and break in it, or there might be one more up here, and then they'll reverse it and break it, and then you know that they're going down. But I'd only be looking, because there should be, zooming back out, there should be, after this 5-wave move, this big 5-wave move, even if they take it down to 2.7 or lower, there should be a big correction coming. So I'd only be looking for the buy setup. But right now, you don't have it yet. Once 287 breaks, then just watch the reaction, because if it can't push up real strong, then that just might be an ABC for the 2, and then they're still going to come down. But once you do see 2992, then the correction's underway. All right, moving on. Oil. Okay, so oil, after this strong move up, there I do see the three waves down. And I gotta zoom in here now. Oops. And now you got one, and then here's a three wave correction. And now this looks to me like it's a diagonal. And it looks like it could be complete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so because this is a diagonal, I'm almost wondering if this isn't going to turn into a running flat here. So like this is the impulse up. This is going to be A. This is going to be a leading diagonal. They'll correct down, maybe only down to, 77 or like 76, low 76s or so. And then go back up and break both 78.05 and 78.42. And that'll be the B. So you have it A, B, C for B. So that'll be A, this will be B, and then you're going to get a sharp sell before they go back up. I'll give you this kind of a look. And then all in all, because for this last wave, I'd assume it's going to be 5 waves because this was so impulsive. And then, so that'll be like the A. This is going to be the B, and then this will be 1, 2, and then they'll be going up for 3, 4, and 5. So I want to see the reaction when it comes down into this zone here and see if it can bounce up one more time, because then I'd be looking for a strong C wave then. So, this chart looks really ugly now. Sorry. Yeah, but that's just one pattern that could be playing out. The other pattern, a very bearish pattern, is that after that strong move up, this three wave, that's just A, and now they completed 1, 2, ending diagonal for, so it's like A, B, C. So that's A, this is B, and now they're going to come all the way down, probably like down to break 74 or something, and then this will be A, B, C, and then go up. So that's why I want to watch this area, because if it can hold, then I think there's going to be a running flat in play. But if it really comes flying down, then I think that this is just going to be a big A, B, and a C, and then we just got to watch, and because if 72 can't hold, then somehow that was all the correction. That doesn't look very corrective. Looks like just one piece of a correction. So to me, it looks like oil needs to go up. I'm just wondering if it's going to go up from this range, or they're going to bring it all the way down. And we got the OPEC meeting coming up, so I think that's going to be the catalyst for making one of these types of patterns here. All right, let's move on. Let's go to copper. All right, so copper now is starting to look a little bit stronger. So I had this as an ABC, and then they corrected, and now they went back up in 3 more waves. So if it is going down, it could be that this was a W, like an X, and then a Y. But it's almost looking more like leading diagonal to me now. So like that was 1, that was 2, and then either it looks like this is just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 5. So we'll have to see the correction that comes here, or it could be that that's 1, that's 2. This is 1. They made a contracting flat here for 1, 2, 3, and that's just 3. And so far, all you have is coming down is 1, 2, 3 waves. So I like to actually see them correct up, which they already have, and then come down one more time. And if this area can hold 379, 375, if this area can hold, then and then it goes back up, and especially if it goes up in 3, then I think that you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then this whole thing will be a leading diagonal. So right now it's a little hard to say. There's two patterns that are kind of playing out, and off of this recent high, you do have divergence. So I would think that there's going to be a correction. So I'd only be looking to buy when it drops into this range, and then you just got to be careful, because if it does break that low, then there is the potential that this is going to come all the way down, because it doesn't quite look done to me yet. So we got to wait and see what happens in this box here. I'd like to see them come down one more time, because then that'd be a good place for a 4, and then if you go up for a 5. I think the safest thing would actually be just to let this play out, because if this is going to be a diagonal, there should be one more wave going up before you get a bigger correction. So even, if you're, I don't know, a little more courageous, you could look for a buy setup in this range to go for the 5th wave, or you could just let this 5 waves play out and then wait for should be I would think, a bigger correction, and you could be buying much lower before they go back up. So copper, I think it's got a little bit more down and then maybe one more up. All right, let's move on to gold. All right, so gold is looking also like they're creating a diagonal, leading diagonal. So I got 1, 2, 3. I think that's 1. Here's 3 waves for 2, and I think this is 1, 2, 3 waves for 3. So now I want to see if it can come down to here, down to 2021 or maybe 2010 or something. Come down in 3 waves. That'd be 4, and then go back up in 3 waves for 5. So if you miss this big wave coming up, I think if it plays out the way I see, there should be a decent drop coming. I'd be looking for the buy setup in here and playing for that 5th wave. Silver. All right, silver to me looks like they're creating a running flat here, because coming off of the low to here, I got an ABC, and to me this looks very much like just 1, 2, and 3 waves. Come on. Yeah, it's up here somewhere. There. Looks like 3 waves to there. So ABC, that could be A, ABC, that could be B. So if they come down real aggressive, this would be a perfect place to start looking for a buy setup, somewhere 23.5 down to 23.14. So low 23s. If it's real aggressive, then you'll have that look. So this will be 1. Then you have your A, B, C, and then it'll go back, resuming up. So let's watch if it comes down hard. Now, if it doesn't, then it could be that they're just making, because that's not a very deep correction. So it could be that they're just making a really big diagonal. I have to look at this, because I'm wondering if maybe this is one, like this is 1, this ABC, that was 2, that was 3. So If they don't get down here, but it only comes down in 3 waves, actually probably will still get down here pretty close. Either way, it's going to be a running flat or a diagonal. We'll have to see. The next wave will tell. If they come down in 3, even if they come down in 3 to here, this wave coming up will tell us. If it only goes up in 3, then this whole thing is a diagonal. And then you're going to get a correction for more up. But if this comes up in 5 waves, then this was a running flat. So the next wave will tell us, but for right now, hate to, I wouldn't be selling, even though it looks like it needs to, no matter what pattern I see. Looks like it needs to come down, but I'd let it sell off before I would buy. You got a little bit of like internal divergence, not real strong. So maybe this wave going up isn't quite done yet. Maybe they got one more wave up, but I'd be waiting for a bigger pullback, because I think, it's either going to be a running flat or it's coming down for a 4. So you should be able to get, it's either going to come down in 5 waves down into here, or it's going to come down in 3 and then resume up. So one of these, but it's got to come down more than what it has so far. So I'd let a bigger correction happen before we get into buying. All right, uranium. All right, so uranium now is looking like the 5th wave is in, and what I want to see is the reaction. If it can get down to 26.9, maybe even down to 26.36 on this uranium asset anyway, because it could be that they're making, like I said last time, that this is all going to be a running flat. And so if it comes down real aggressive, and it's coming down pretty aggressive so far, but if it comes down, and they give us 5 waves down into this box, it could be going back up then, because then these lines I'll be shifting these, because then this could be just 1, 2, 3. This was like A, and then this is B, and then they're going to come down to, they're going to come down to like here for C, and then this 4th wave that I had as a contracting flat will be sliding over here. So I'm going to put everything back as a contracting flat and C, because if it blows right through here and gets really aggressive selling off, then this 5th wave is in, and then they're going to be making a much bigger correction. So let's see if we can get 5 waves down to here, and then if it can start to go back up, then I think this is all a running flat, and you got a lot more upside to go. All right, so that's what I see on the commodities. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Good luck to you, and I'll see you in the next video.